Alright, let's talk about this practice charge we did. This is our second line, charging our front line. As you can see, we're getting ready to do it. Going slow-mo. Now, you notice, Michael already knows that we're going to be having to get line in line. He's already reached out and started putting his hand on the Steven shoulder. He's prepping ahead. It's a good job, Mr. Michael. When it gets in the line, again, we see Amanda's already rushed back to where she knows the line's at, reached out and grabbed hold of Tim's shoulder, and she's looking over to check on the person to her left, Stephanie, and seeing if she's ready. So we get lined up. We're sitting here discussing exactly what's going to happen, how we're going to go about it. A little bit of discussion here. Once you go ahead and get set up, everyone gets prepped. Now, if you notice, we have Tim Goodbitney, Amanda Goodbitney, Stephanie looks great. Steven, your knee looks phenomenal. On the other hand, we look over here at Michael's knee. It is straight. So, that's not a good prep place. They step. Now, let's look at that again in slow-mo. If you look here, Steven calls a charge. Y'all step. And Steven's already half a step ahead of y'all. His back foot's already past his front leg. As you can see here. That neither needs to mean we need to start speeding up or slowing down. Doesn't really matter. We keep on going. He's already planted. And you can see Michael, who can see him, has also planted his foot down. But no one else in line can see it. So Steven's now a whole step ahead of everyone else. Everyone's foot hits the first time. Steven's foot's already up on his second step. And I'll finish your whole first motion pretty much at the same time. We keep on going into the second step. Look at that. Nice in unison. Let's get that again. Look at that. All in unison. Everybody's up. Everybody's standing. The only problems I see right here are Chris. You really are we're not out for a walk in the park. We're trying to be preparing for a line, be intimidating. You're sort of standing there and walking with the group. Try to, set the visage, jet the jaw, etc., etc. But yes, we continue onward. Take another step here, and boom. Now, we only see one person here. Should work on that in the future. Michael, you got your knee placed perfectly right here. You've got knee to knee. Remember trying to step them up. I'm not exactly sure what you're doing here, Chris. Your legs really aren't bent. Your back is straight. Really, what we really want to have is for it to be, remember, hip. You want back straight, but if you're going to have you need to be down lower. So try to not have your hips here, which is where they're at, but lower than the hips of your opponent, which is a huge jump down. If you look back here in the back at Steven, we can see that his hips are lower down than the person he's facing, who is Joey next to him. Michael and Tim, y'all should be combining forces against Mr. Larson there. I'm not exactly sure what you're thinking there. Let's continue onward. You first step. Michael, your knee here is doing this sort of twisting motion. So if this is a person's knee, we want our knee to be underneath theirs and to lift up and push. Instead, what you seem to be doing is sort of swirling your knee around, if we look at it from above, and pushing his over, which is not the idea. The idea is to knee to knee and press down onto it. So we push back. Again, let's look at that in slow-mo. Back legs are back. You're really doing almost all your pushing, Michael, with your arms. You're not really doing anything with your body or back. Your hips. Oops, Let me switch over here. Your hips haven't moved forward at all till after you get done pushing him out of the way. Chris, you have the right idea. Your hips are moving forward as you step, but again, you start to look like you're walking in the park. You can see Steven, who's behind. Look how much farther forward his hip is from where it started. So it starts right there. See here, it starts here. Move forward a little bit. Just move to there. Well, this is camera's moving, so it's having to follow, but you can see his hip has covered a huge amount of distance, whereas Michael's yours is not. Chris, yours has also moved a huge amount of distance. And you see how Steven is stepping with his back foot forward to grab hold of that land. Stephanie, I see your leg back here. You're really short. Your leg should have moved way earlier. So, yeah. Start thinking about that when you're trying to go. Boom. Great motion of Joey. He moves a retarded amount of distance. Chris, I'm not exactly sure what you're doing with this arm here. You're sort of like, I don't know, slapping him in the head, trying to get his attention. What's up here? Anyways. And we come into a stop. Good motion, Michael. Do you see Michael is coming to defensive stance? Most of the line's still in defensive stance. Chris, I'm not exactly sure what it is you're doing here, but it needs to be. You need to be in line and ready. You don't know if somebody's going to come out from somewhere else and get you. So let's go ahead and look at that whole thing from the beginning. And this time, not in slow-mo. He'll line up, get into position. Steven calls the lay on. And he calls for a step. He step. He calls for a step. And y'all step. He calls for a step. Y'all step. And then you push. And yeah, there you go, guys.